أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أفمن كان على بينة. So is one who stands upon a clear evidence. The person, أفمن, the one who is كان, he stands upon على بينة, upon a بينة. What is بينة? بينة is from the root letters bayanun. And the word بينة, bayan, to be clear, mubin, one who is clear. So bayina is a clear evidence, a clear proof, a clear evidence. So a person who is on bayina, min rabbihi, from his Lord. Who is this person and what is this bayina? This ayah has been understood in many different ways, at least 8. And all of them are correct. However, I'm going to tell you only 1 or 2. Depending on how much you can take. So, afaman, first of all, man refers to the believer. A believer. He is upon bayina. What does bayina mean? It means fitrah. The nature, the innate nature upon which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the human beings. The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that إِنِّي خَلَقْتُ عِبَادِي حُنَفَاء, that verily I have created my servants حُنَفَاء. But the devils, they came to them and distracted them from their religion. So a person who is on fitrah, on the right religion, he is on tawheed, he is following whatever he knows about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he believes in Allah, he is on fitrah. Then what happens? min rabbihi, from his Lord. And he is upon this bayina by the tawfiq of his Lord. By the favor, by the permission of his Lord. I just remember that the Prophet ﷺ, when he came, before he became a messenger, there were some people who lived in Makkah who were known as Hunafa. Do you know about them? There were some people who were known as Hunafa. Who were they? They had left idolatry. They had left shirk completely. They could not find any sense in shirk. So they began searching for what the right religion was. And they searched, they tried, they attempted, and eventually they figured out there has to be one God. We believe in Him, we worship Him. And the little that they did know about the religion of Ibrahim a.s., they followed that. Because they were in Makkah, and they knew that before people were following the teachings of who? Ibrahim a.s., he was one of their forefathers. So they were upon bayina. And this tawfiq was given to them by who? By Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then what happened? وَيَتْلُوهُ, and he follows him. The word yatlu is from the root letters talam, well. And tilawa means recitation. But tal, what does it mean? To follow. Tala yatlu tal or til, what does it mean? To follow. And tilawa is recitation. What's the connection between the two? Tilawa is such recitation in which the meaning, the understanding follows. The action, it follows. And each letter is followed by the other. Each word is connected with the next. Like for example, if you're reading the English language, you don't connect the words together. What do? You recite each word, you pronounce each word separately. But when you're reciting the Quran, then what do? You connect all the words together, right? So, وَيَتْلُوهُ over here means that he follows him. Who follows him? A shahid, a witness. And this shahid has come from who? Minhu, from him, meaning from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this person is upon bayina, he is on fitrah. Whatever that he knows, he is upon tawheed, on deenul haq. And then soon, who comes? A shahid from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who is this shahid? Shahid refers to the messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam comes, he follows this man, he comes after this man. Soon, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam came, and he is called shahid over here. Why? Because he testifies to the truthfulness of what? Of that bayyina that person is on tawheed, dinul fitrah. He confirms the truthfulness of that. These people were hunafa. The Prophet ﷺ brought the same religion of Ibrahim a.s. being Hanif, Tawheed. So the Prophet ﷺ came, shahidun minhu, And he came from who? From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمِن قَبْلِهِ, and before him. Before it, rather. And it refers to the revelation of the Qur'an, or the coming of the final messenger. So before this messenger came, before the Shahid came, there was what? Kitab Musa, the book of Musa alayhi salam. What was the book of Musa alayhi salam? The Torah. And the book of Musa alayhi salam, before, it was considered as the Imam and also wa rahmah. It was Imam. What is Imam? A leader, a guide. So it was a guide for the people to follow, and also a rahmah for the people as a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it wasn't that when the Prophet ﷺ came, people did not know what to do. There was the book of Musa alayhi salam that they were supposed to follow. However, these people, the Hunafa, they did not know about it. So what were they on? Bayyina, on Tawheed, on Deen al-Fitra. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that ulaika, it is such people who yu'minuna bihi, who believe in him. Who believe in who? Who believe in the messenger, in the Shahid, in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who? Those people who are already on bayyina. Those people who are on fitrah. Those people who are inclined to tawheed. When the truth is presented before them, they accept it. They believe in it. And those people who are not on bayyina, who have destroyed their fitrah, who are firm upon their incorrect ways, then such people, when the messenger came, when the Qur'an was presented to them, they don't accept it. Who believes in it? Those people who are upon fitrah, whose heart, whose inside is still alive. Ulaika yu'minuna bi. Another way of understanding this ayah is that أَفَمَنْ كَانَ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ, man refers to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That he was upon a bayyinah. And what does bayyinah mean? A clear evidence. A clear evidence of what? A clear evidence that shows his truthfulness, that demonstrates his truthfulness. And remember that every prophet was given some kind of bayyinah, isn't it? Some kind of clear evidence that showed his truthfulness. So the Prophet ﷺ himself was on bayyinah, a clear evidence, evidence of prophethood, Qur'an, clear guidance, min Rabbihi, from his Lord. And this bayyinah came to him from who? From his Lord, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not make it up himself. Allah gave him this bayyinah. And when he presented this Qur'an to people, what happened? وَيَتْلُوهُ, and he followed him. Again, yatluhu gives the meaning of follows. Who follows? The messenger. Ash-shahidun, a witness from him, meaning from Allah, sent by Allah. Who does this shahid refer to? Shahid refers to a believer from the Ahlul Kitab, from the people of the book. Why is he called shahid? Because he testifies to the truthfulness of the messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Remember when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the first revelation and he came home to his wife, she took him to who? Waraqa ibn Nawfal. And he was a believer in the previous scriptures. He read them, he studied them, he followed them. Although he lived in Makkah, however, he believed in all the previous scriptures. And when the Prophet ﷺ came to him and he told him about what had happened, he confirmed his truthfulness. وَيَتْلُوهُ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْهُ. Similarly, later on in Medina, what happened? Abdullah ibn Salam, who was he? A Jewish man. However, when he became a Muslim, he testified to the truthfulness of Muhammad ﷺ. So the fact that the Prophet ﷺ demonstrated a clear proof of his truthfulness, and on top of that, witnesses came showing his truthfulness. Who are these witnesses? People from the Ahlul Kitab who believed, which showed that he was the messenger that they were waiting for. وَيَتْلُوهُ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْهُ وَمِنْ قَبْلِهِ, and before him, before the Qur'an, before the messenger came, there was the Kitab of Musa alayhi salam, the Torah, which showed what? Which told the people about the signs of the last messenger. Wasn't it? In the Torah, in the previous scriptures, what was recorded? What was written? The signs of the last messenger. So this book, meaning the Torah, it was as an imam, a guide to the people that showed them, yes, this is the messenger. What does a guide do? What does a guide do? It tells you, go here, go there. This is how you recognize the place when you see the sign, when you see this number. Right? So, the book of Musa a.s. was an imam and a rahmah for the people from before, so that they knew as to what they should do, and they knew how to recognize the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, ulaika, it is those who yu'minuna bih. Who does ulaika refer to? From among the Jews and the Christians who believed in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who believed in the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There are other ways of understanding this ayah as well. That أَفَمَنْ كَانَ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ, man refers to those people from the Ahlul Kitab who were upon fitrah. Who were upon fitrah. That when the Prophet ﷺ came, they recognized him. They immediately accepted him. And they became shahid. Similarly, it has been understood as that أَفَمَنْ كَانَ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ, again it refers to the Prophet ﷺ. And then وَيَتْلُوهُ شَاهِدٌ, yatlu gives the meaning of he recites it. He recites it. He recites what? The Qur'an. And who does a shahid refer to? The angel Jibreel. That he recites the Qur'an to the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ himself was on bayina, on fitrah. Jibreel ﷺ came and brought revelation to him. وَيَتْلُوهُ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْهُ. And before the Qur'an came, وَمِن قَبْلِهِ, and before the Qur'an was the book of Musa a.s. Allah did not deprive people of guidance. There was the book of Musa a.s. as an imam and as a rahmah. So, أُولَٰئِكَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ, it is such people who believe in the Qur'an, who believe in the messenger. Who? Those people who are upon bayyinah. Those people who testify to the truth when they see it. وَمَن يَكْفُرْ بِهِ, and whoever denies it, whoever does not believe in the Qur'an, whoever denies the messenger, min al-ahzab, from the various groups. Al-ahzab is a plural of hizb, from the root letters ha, zai, ba. Ha, zai, ba. Hizb. And hizb is a group, a party, a band. So whoever disbelieves from among the various groups of people, فَالنَّارُ مَوْعِدُهُ, so the fire is his promise. What does it mean by the ahzab? Ahzab refers to the various groups of people that are on the surface of the earth. Meaning the followers of different creeds, of different religions. Whether it is the group of the Yahud, or the Nasara, or the Mushrikeen, the various groups. So any person who disbelieves in the Messenger ﷺ, and no matter what group he belongs to, then فَالنَّارُ مَوْعِدُهُ, his promise is what? Fire. The fire is going to be his end. That is where he's going to go. فَلَا تَكُوا, so you should not be. Who does you refer to? The Prophet ﷺ. فِي مِرْيَةٍ, in any doubt. Minhu, concerning it. Concerning what? Concerning the Qur'an. You should not have any doubt in the truthfulness of the Qur'an. Because إِنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكَ, indeed it is the truth from your Lord. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, but most people, they don't believe. They don't believe in it. The word mirya has been used over here, not shak. Mirya, as we discussed earlier as well, it is such a doubt that leads to arguments. And mirya is also used for a doubt which is about something that is factual, that is a reality. So it is to make a reality doubtful, an established fact doubtful. And how does a person begin to doubt a fact? When there is a lot of debate and argument about it. Isn't it? Like for example, you believe in something, and all of a sudden you hear, oh, there's discussion going on concerning this. Like for example, you believe that normal milk is good for you, okay? And all of a sudden there's a discussion, there's an argument that you read or you listen to where people are debating whether that milk is really good for you or not. So what happens? You had no problem before and now you're wondering, should I continue to drink that or not? This is what mirya is. To make a fact doubtful. So فَلَا تَكُوا فِي مِرْيَةٍ مِّنْهُ, do not be in any doubt concerning the Qur'an. What do we learn in this ayah? that the Prophet ﷺ, when he brought the haqq, when he brought the Qur'an, those people who were upon fitrah, they accepted it. They accepted it. They believed in it without any problem. And those people who did not accept it, it's not because there was a problem with the Qur'an, it's because they have a problem in themselves. We learned earlier in Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 121, that الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَتْلُونَهُ حَقَّ تِلَاوَتِهِ أُولَٰئِكَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ. Those people to whom we have given the book, meaning the Yahud and the Nasara, they recite it with its true recital. And such people are the ones who believe in the Qur'an as well. So those people who were upon the fitrah, upon the deen al-haq, upon the right religion, they were following the religion that they were supposed to, whether it was being hunafa in Makkah because they didn't know what to do, or it was being a Christian at that time, whoever was doing what they knew was right, and they were on fitrah, when they saw the haqq, they accepted it. And those people who had become stubborn, who had wiped off their fitrah, such people, when the Qur'an came before them, they did not accept it. We also learn from this ayah that the message that the Prophet ﷺ brought was universal. It was for all people. Which is why it has been said that whoever disbelieves in it from the various groups, then the fire is his maw'id, is his promise. What does it show? That the message that the Prophet ﷺ brought is for everyone. Everyone. From the people of the book, to the mushrikeen, to those people who don't believe at all in anything. It is for everyone. Which is why we learned that the Prophet ﷺ said that by He in whose hand is my soul, there is no one of this nation, whether he is a Jew or a Christian, who hears of me and does not believe in me, except that he will enter the fire. Believing in the Prophet ﷺ is mandatory, because قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ إِنِّي رَسُولُ اللَّهِ إِلَيْكُمْ جَمِيعًا. And if a person denies in one messenger, it's as though he's denying all the messengers. We have discussed this earlier. Differentiating between the messengers of Allah, believing in some, disbelieving in some, is like denying all of them. Is like denying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. So it's not acceptable that a person believes in all the messengers and he denies Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anyone who denies Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such a person is not going to enter Jannah. Therefore, this book, this Qur'an, this messenger is a criteria for success, not anything else. However, we see that many people, they still don't believe, which is why the Prophet ﷺ has been told that you don't be in any doubt, it is the truth from your Lord. Just because everybody is not believing, it doesn't mean that you begin doubting yourself. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ, and who is more unjust? مِمَّنْ, than the person who, iftara, he fabricated, عَلَى اللَّهِ, against Allah, كَذِبًا, a lie. Who is more unjust than the one who fabricates a lie against Allah? What does it mean by fabricating a lie against Allah? Ascribing a child or a partner to Him. What else? Ascribing statements to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What else? Claiming prophethood. So a person who lies against Allah, such a person is extremely unjust. أُولَٰئِكَ, those, يُعْرَضُونَ عَلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ, those people will be presented before their Lord. يُعْرَضُونَ from the root letters, عَيْن را ضاد, عرض. And ard is to display. Remember? ثُمَّ عَرَضَهُمْ عَلَى الْمَلَائِكَةِ. Then He presented those things before the angels. فَقَالَ أَنْبِئُونِي بِأَسْمَاءِ هَؤُلَاءِ إِن كُنْتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. So, عَرَضَ is to present. يُعْرَضُونَ, they will be presented. They will be exposed. They will be displayed before their Lord. What does it mean by this? That those people who fabricate lies against Allah, primarily this ayah is about the mushrikeen, that they will be presented before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, their deeds displayed. Why will they be presented? For hisab, for questioning. But isn't it that everyone will be displayed before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will be brought before Allah for accountability? Everyone will be. But by mentioning this, this is like emphasizing the threat against them. That they think they will not be questioned? No, they will be brought before their true Lord. وَيَقُولُ, and He will say, who will say? Al-ashhad, the witnesses. The witnesses are going to say that هَؤُلَاءِ, it is these people who الَّذِينَ كَذَبُوا عَلَى رَبِّهِمْ, who lied against their Lord. It is these people who fabricated statements and they ascribed them to their Lord. It is these people who invented partners and children and they ascribed them to who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is these people who lied about their Lord. أَلَا لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الظَّالِمِينَ. Unquestionably, the curse of Allah is upon who? Those people who are unjust. The word al-ashhad is the plural of shahid. And who is a shahid? Who is a shahid? A witness, one who bears witness to something, one who testifies as well. Remember, shahid is one who is brought to the court and he bears testimony. He gives a testimony. So who are the ashhad referring to over here? First of all, it refers to the angels. That the angels are going to say that these people lied against their Lord. Which angels are these? And how come they are ashhad? Because the angels, they conveyed the message to who? To the prophets of Allah, who conveyed it to the people. So if still someone did shirk, then what does it mean? They are blameworthy. If still someone does not accept, then what does it mean? They are blameworthy. If you connect this with the previous ayah, believers and disbelievers were mentioned, right? So over here, the end of those people who don't believe is being mentioned. That the angels are going to bear witness against them. Similarly, the angels are ashhad. How? Because what else do angels do? They record the deeds that a person does. So they will have witnessed the deeds of these people. So they will say, yes, these people did shirk. These people ascribed partners to Allah. Secondly, al-ashhad refers to the prophets as well. Because the prophets, they conveyed. And they will testify that we conveyed the message. Similarly, it also refers to the believers, especially the Muslim Ummah. So, وَيَقُولُ الْأَشْهَادُ هَؤُلَاءِ الَّذِينَ كَذَبُوا عَلَى رَبِّهِمْ. And what is the judgment that is going to be made concerning them? That the la'na of Allah is upon such people. الَّذِينَ. Who are these people? Those people who يَصُدُّونَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ, who stop people from the way of Allah. يَصُدُّونَ is from the root letters? Sad, dal, dal, sad. And what does sad mean? To stop oneself and also to stop others. To not go forward yourself and to also not let others go forward. So they stop from the way of Allah. They don't accept the religion of Allah. And if anyone wants to accept the religion of Allah, they also prevent them. They also discourage them. Like for example, when a person from the people of the book would not believe, then what is he doing? He is stopping himself and he's also stopping other people. Especially at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Similarly, the leaders who recognized the truth, who knew the truthfulness of the Prophet ﷺ, when they did not accept, when they did not go forward, who were they discouraging? The masses, the rest of the people. So, الَّذِينَ يَصُدُّونَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَيَبْغُونَهَا, and they also seek it to be عِوَجًا, crooked. Meaning they also seek the religion of Allah to be crooked. They make the straight path seem crooked. Why? So that people have doubts about it. First of all, they don't let people accept it. Secondly, they present the religion of Allah to be crooked, to be deviated. Something that does not make sense. In the Quran, the fly is mentioned, the mosquito is mentioned. And the hur are mentioned. This is what people say. Why? So that people get discouraged. Especially if a woman wishes to study the Quran, what is she told? That you're studying the Quran. You know what's written in the Quran? That a man is allowed to marry 4 wives. It's a big weakness for a woman, right? And she's discouraged like this. So have you read Surah Nisa? This is presenting the religion of Allah to be crooked, as something that does not make sense, as something that is deviated. They look for such things, and they highlight such things, and they misrepresent such things, so that people get turned off. People don't have any interest in their religion. And who can dare to do this? وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. And they, in the hereafter, they are disbelievers. Notice the word hum. وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. Emphasis is being laid that it is such people who don't believe in the hereafter, because if they did, they wouldn't dare do something like that. So they do all of this in order to extinguish the light of Islam. Again, remember the time when the surah was revealed. Extreme opposition, extreme hostility. They were struggling, the mushrikeen, to extinguish the light of Islam. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? That such people can never be successful.